So our topic for today would be design of combined forces, no, beam and columns. So ito yung mga learning outcomes natin. Um, well, number one, you should be able to define yung tinatawag na column fixity constant, no, which is yung ibang term natin dyan, effective length factor, K, no, for the design of columns. But on this time, hindi tayo gamit ng table, we would use nomographs na tinatawag. Okay? Apply interaction formula for combined forces. Okay? Familiar na kayo sa concept ng interaction formula. Okay? For the last chapter. Also differentiate brace to unbraced frames. No? Compute beam columns actual capacity as per code, and that was actually presented sa section 508 of the NSCP 2015 code. Okay? So quickly, no, pakita lang natin yung code provisions. So as per NSCP, yung design of members for combined forces and torsion was presented on section 508. And ito yung inclusion, no, or yung pagkakahati-hati ng mga topic. Okay, so madami to. Okay? Yung 508.1 would concern about the doubly and singly symmetric members subject to flexure and axial force. Okay? So under this section, meron pang mga subsection, and you could see here meron siyang tatlo. Okay? Yung number one muna, doubly and singly symmetric members in flexure and compression. Kasi axial force nga, di ba? So it's either compression or tension. Okay? Yung number two would be doubly and singly symmetric members in flexure and tension naman. Okay? And yung number three would be doubly symmetric members, okay, in single axis flexure and compression. Okay? So malinaw to, no? Single axis lang yung flexure niya. Okay? Yung 508.2 naman is we discuss yung unsymmetric and under members subject to flexure and axial load. Okay, and yung last would be members under torsion and combined torsion, flexure, axial, and or axial force. So andito na lahat, no, sa last number. Now, again, hindi tayo matapos kung i-discuss lahat yan. Okay? So, ito yung inclusion on point 3. No? So, paki-check na lang. Hindi tayo matatapos. You would focus only on one of the subsection such a way na ma-discuss natin yung magkaroon kayo ng idea how to use yung mga formulas. No? So, ito yung Section 508 from NEC 2015. As we have mentioned, we would focus on 508.1.1, no, which is doubly and singly symmetric members and flexure and compression. So ito yung sabi ni code, no? Yan yung mga formula. Okay? Ito yung mga parameters, which is actually familiar na kayo dito, di ba? Kasi nagamit na natin to on the design of flexural members, yung particularly those under biaxial bending. Okay? So ito yung formula, no? Kapag meron kang bending and meron kang axial force to be specific compression, no, as we have discussed. So ito yung mga parameters. I would not discuss this one kasi familiar na kayo dito, no. But to give you an idea, no, yung R, which is the numerator, yan yung required strength, di ba? And then yung denominator C, yun yung available strength or due to capacity ng section mo. Yung numerator, yung R, due to yan, no, due to loads. Okay? Applied loads. So, yeah, and then may mga clue dito, no? If LRFD and ASD daw yung gagamitin mo, so may mga formulas dito related to the parameters na gagamitin natin. Okay? So emphasize ko lang, no, 0.9 for LRFD for compression and flexure. Parehas lang, no? And 1.67 for ASD na design procedure. Okay? Sige. Let's discuss yung beam column, no? So mag-start tayo on building frame. Okay? So say for example, you have your building frame like so. Okay? So 2D to. Okay? Pinapakita natin. On our given building frame, meron tayong dalawang types of load na na-discuss natin on chapter 1. No? Yung number 1 is the gravity loads, which is in a sense vertical in direction. Okay? Vertical in direction. Yung example niyan would be dead loads and live loads. Okay? Sana ganun lang kadali, no? Well, unfortunately, meron tayong tinatawag na lateral load, which is might be from seismic or earthquake or possibly due to wind. Okay? So kung paano mo i-design yung building mo, no? Depende kung ano yung mag-govern. Pwedeng due to earthquake or due to wind. No? So you need to investigate both. Okay? But to give you an idea, okay? Kapag reinforced concrete ka, usually ang nag-govern doon seismic load kasi mabigat yung structure mo. Okay? Kapag naman steel structure like yung sa mga warehouse, usually ang naggo-govern do'n yung wind load kasi magaan yung structure mo and yung surface area 'no, na tinatamaan ng wind load usually, malalaki and yun yung talaga yung naggo-govern sa mga ano, sa mga steel structure. But let me emphasize again, you need to check both, no? You need to check both just to make sure na you have, captured kung sino talaga yung governing, forces, okay? Now we mentioned, kapagka, since meron ka ng in-apply na lateral load, usually ano, eh, 'no, usually, ah, nagbabago yung mga bending moment mo on your frame and then supposedly for your columns, 'no, itong vertical element that should carry, compression load, actually loaded 'no, compression load due to gravity loads. Kapag nag-introduce ka ng lateral loads magbabago usually magkakaroon ka na ng ano 'no, ng, reversal and, meron ka ng bending moment dun sa mga joints, okey? Or somehow nagbabago talaga yung ano mo, yung bending moment diagram ng pinaka-columns mo, okey? And meron ka ng ano, iba't ibang, loadings. So, on that scenario tinatawag natin siyang ano 'no, as we have mentioned beam columns na yung ano, yung term na ginagamit natin, okey? And, depending on the lateral system na ginagamit mo kapag nagde-design ka ng building, pwede siyang ma-categorize as brace or unbraced frame, which is pupuntahan natin mamaya, i-de-detail natin yung kaibahan ng dalawa na yun, okey? So, meron pa tayong example 'no, hindi lang ito mga building frame na kung saan ano na 'no, subjected ka na into combined forces 'no. Ang example nito yung napakita natin last, chapter 5 'no, yung sa trusses 'no. 'Di ba sabi natin sa trusses as much as possible yung purlins mo nakapatong dun sa joints, okay? Dun sa joints, may mga cases dun sa top chord ng truss mo, ipapatong nila dun sa ano, along the ano 'no, along the, dun sa location wherein walang ano, connected, members. Okay? So on that case, nag-introduce ka na ng bending moment dun sa ano mo, top chord mo sa trusses, no? So in that case, possibly mas appropriate na i-design mo na siya as ano, no, beam columns. Okay? Okay? So i-emphasize ko lang, okay, on this chapter, which is chapter 6, we would discuss no, design of ano, beam columns which means combined ano na tayo, forces. Okay? Ito quick review lang ng mga loadings natin on our structure. Okay, alam niyo na 'to, eh, 'no? Dead load, self-weight nung ano mo, nung mga elements mo. Additional dead load due to ano, imposed, or superimposed dead load and mga wall partitions, 'no? Yan yung mga slabs, okay? Live load, sabi natin, puwedeng full live load ang application, puwedeng pattern loading, okay? Ta's minsan may impact factor, okay? And then yun nga, yung wind load effects, no, which is depende kung ano yung orientation or direction ng wind loads mo, pwedeng at X or Y direction, depende sa plan. Okay? And yung seismic load effects natin. So nagbabago din yung direction yan, no? Depende kung ano yung ah, plan mo. Okay? Now, yung mga figures na to is a bending moment diagram produced by a software. Okay? So you could see na kapag gravity load ka, no, due to dead load or live loads, ito yung expected mo na moment diagram. Okay? By the way, no, you could see na medyo funny no, or sabihin natin funny yung ano, yung bending moment diagram in a way na ano, naka-reverse, no? Yung expected mo na bending moment diagram due to dead load sa building frame mo. Gano'n kasi 'yun 'no, kapag gumagamit ka ng software usually yung, sign convention ng mga moment is naka-reverse, okey? So supposedly dapat 'pag gano'n 'di ba, 'pag negative moment halimbawa sa span na 'to, andito yung moment mo, negative moment, tapos positive moment sa taas, tapos babalik sa negative moment, okey. So galing kasi 'to ano, from software 'no, yung possibly yung bending, diagram na 'to, okey? Um, Gano'n usually sa software 'no, so makita niyo 'yan pagka nag-discuss tayo 'no, nung Midas software, Midas Gen to be specific. So ito naman yung ano, expected mo na bending moment diagram due to ano, seismic load, okey? Seismic load. So yung mga columns mo you could see here, magkakaroon ka na talaga ng ano 'no, ng, variation in terms of the moment, okey? Okey sana kung ganito, eh, 'no, okey? So dito, yeah. So basically, yun lang yung gusto kong sabihin, okey? So at a certain column 'no, kung iche-check mo yung loadings sa support, may mga ganito kang makitang ano, possible, loads 'no, yung yun nga, yung axial load, okay, load P, which is, compression on this direction. And then meron kang moment 'no, depending on, saan bine-bend yung ano mo, yung given section mo. So kung major axis bending, itong MX yun, okay? kung minor axis or weak axis bending, yun naman yung MY. Okay? Itong magenta. Okay? So, yun yung usual forces natin for a given beam column that we need to look out. Okay? Now, siguro nagtatanong kayo, no? Since ang daming forces in place, ano ba yung relationship ng dalawa? Okay? So, paano ba natin chine-check to? Okay? Well, alam niyo na 'yon, no? Gumagamit tayo ng interaction equation, okay? To check kapag madami ng uh, it's a combination of loads na, no? To check if safe ba yung given element, okay? And basically ano lang to, no? Load ratios lang to. Load ratios, moment ratios. Minsan gumagamit ng stress ratio, usually pagka old code, no? Naka-stress yung nila, yung mga ratio. F sub B, okay? So as long as it's a ratio, it's an interaction equation. So similar on this one, since combined forces tayo, gumagamit tayo ng interaction equation. So dito sa figure na to, as shown, this is an interaction curve showing the 2D, no? Showing yung relationship uh, ng axial, no? Column axial load or capacity and the bending, no? Bending capacity. So mapansin mo dito, kapag masyadong mataas yung applied load mo in such a way na parang purely axial load na lang yung naka-apply sa column, nagzi-zero na yung moment mo. Okay? Hindi pwedeng mayroon kang masyadong mataas na load tas mataas din na moment. Okay? So, and then you could see also here na kapag masyadong mataas yung moment mo, yung axial load na kayang buhatin ng column mo approaching din sa zero. Okay? Approaching din sa zero. So may certain point in time na nagba-balance na meron kang moment, meron ka ding axial load. Okay? So actually ito yung ginagamit natin, no? Ginagamit natin itong interaction diagram to check kung bagsak tayo or hindi, no? I-explain ko sa inyo mamaya on the next slide kung ano pa yung mga example nito. Okay? Now in terms of the code provisions, no? Pinakita na natin kanina, kapag magdi-design ka na against combined forces, ito daw yung mga equations na gagamitin mo, no? Kapag daw yung axial force P sub r based sa equation na to is greater than or masyadong mataas yung load PR relative to the actual capacity P sub C, which is yung due to load. Okay? And supposedly ang ratio mo, no, kapag chinek mo daw yung ratio na P sub R over P sub C, kapag greater than or equal 0.2 ka daw, okay? Usually yung yung appropriate equation, no, interaction equation, yung column mo daw is large axial loads, no, on your beam column. And yung mag-govern na equation na dapat mong gamitin, ito equation 1, no. Tinawag natin equation 1 on this presentation. P sub R over P sub C plus 8 over 9 multiplied by open and close parentheses yung combination ng dalawang moment mo, M sub Rx over M sub Cx plus M sub Ry plus M sub Cy. Okay? So as a rule, no, of thumb, it should be equal, no, or supposedly less than 1.0. Okay? Now, kapag small axial load ka naman, so ibig sabihin yung axial force P sub R mo is low compared to the actual axial capacity P sub C, no? And ito yung no, yung opposite lang nung ratio na to. Okay? Kapag yung P sub R mo daw is over P sub C is less than 0.2, the appropriate interaction equation as per the NSCP, no, should be this one. Okay? So yung difference lang nito is, as you could see, meron ka lang 2 dito sa denominator and nawala yung yung multiplier na to, yung 8 over 9. Okay? So the rest is similar. Okay? So yun no, yung first rule is to check yung ratio na to. Okay? Para malaman mo kung anong equation gagamitin mo. It's either equation 1 or equation 2. Okay? Okay, so I think for this one, I would skip this kasi alam niyo na to, no? Yung mga parameters na gagamitin natin. But again, to repeat, no? Yung numerator, yan yung due to loads. Okay? Kaya factored axial compression load. Okay? Yung denominator, yan yung capacity or yung available strength. So, meron tayong discussion on how to calculate each in the capacity, no? Kung ano man yan, kung axial compression man yan, kung major yan, no? Major flexure at major axis or strong axis, and kung flexure yan on minor axis. Okay? Na-discuss na natin yan. Okay? So I would skip this one. Okay? Yeah, basically from that to interaction equation, ito na yung nire-represent niya na interaction diagram. Okay? So as a rule of thumb, Okay? So ito pala yung ano, yung isang equation, okay? Itong, line na 'to. So ito yung pinapollow niya, okay? Itong line naman na 'to, itong equation na 'to, okay? So ito yung ano, yung graph 'no, meron kang 1 'no, as the highest values and 0. Ibig sabihin, purely moment lang yung naka-apply 'no, kapag na-reach mo yung point na 'to. And this one, 1 purely ano, actual load, okay? So paano siya ginagamit 'no, kasi puwede kang makapag-generate ng ganito, eh, 'no? Puwede kang makapag-generate ng ganito, depende kung ano yung system na ginagamit mo. Ito rin yung ginagamit ng mga structural engineer 'no, on how to on to check if failed 'no, or pasado yung kanilang members 'no. So paano ba? Basically, ipa-plot mo lang 'no, halimbawa gumamit ka ng a specific column with a specific load, tapos yung ano, yung value nung, value mo is nag-fall dito, okey, somewhere dito. Okay, so sabihin na lang natin muna somewhere dito, okay, yung value mo. Ang ibig sabihin nun is ano, is, um, safe ka 'no, kapag nasa loob ka nung ano na 'to, nung boundary na 'yan. Okay, safe yung ano mo, yung design mo. Now, if nasa labas ka, yun na 'no. So ibig sabihin nun unsafe ka or magpi-failed yung ano mo, yung, given structure mo kapag prinet mo 'tong dalawang ano na 'to, dalawang parameters na 'to. Okay? So ganun lang siya ginagamit 'no. Basta as long as you're within the ano, the area 'no, enclosed by this line and the X and Y axis, pas ano, safe yung ano mo, safe yung design mo, okay? Now, let's go further 'no. Kung gagawin nating 3D, halimbawa ito sa case na 'to na meron kang, moment at both at principal axis, okay, and then yung compression load. Ito na yung ano, pinaka-simplified interaction surface na tinatawag, okay? So parang iko-connect mo lang yung mga ano na yun 'no, yung mga points na yun. So you would have ano, a 3D 'no, interaction surface. Somehow a 3D 'no, or it is simplified na interaction surface. Now, sa ano niyo, sa kapag nag-practice na kayo 'no, in actual nagde-design na kayo, depende kung anong surface yung software yung ginagamit niyo. Yung ibang software meron silang capability to generate yung what we call the PNM interaction curve like so. So dito 3D ano 'to 'no, 3D interaction, diagram. So as long as gano'n pa din 'no, yung rule niya is as long as pasok ka dun sa ano, sa curve mo, sa 3D curve mo na 'to, safe yung ano mo, yung beam column mo. Okay. Okay, sige, at least alam niyo na yung mga figure na 'to and paano siya ginagamit, okay. Sige, ito quick recap na lang 'to 'no, kasi na-discuss na natin 'to 'no, sa chapter 4 'no, design of compression members. Basically ito lang gagamitin natin, okay, for calculation ng actual column ano, compressive strength, okay. So alam niyo na 'yan, ito yung formula, okay. So para ma-convert mo 'yan sa P sub U or sa P sub A, gagamit ka ng mga under strength. So alam niyo na rin 'to 'no, for compression members, okay. Now, para malaman kung elastic or inelastic ano ka 'no, mode of failure ka, so ito yung mga, threshold na ginagamit natin, itong dalawa na 'to, and meron niyang corresponding formula, okay, for the what we called, F sub CR 'no, which is also related to F sub E, yung Euler critical buckling stress, ito yung formula, okay. So ano lang 'to 'no, talagang, application lang 'to ng chapter 4 and chapter 5. Ang gusto ko lang i-emphasize 'no, hindi tayo gagamit ng table for K, we would use yung nomograph as I mentioned, okay. Sige, punta muna tayo dun sa fixity constant on or how to define yung effective length factor K. So again, cross out na 'to, okay, kasi ito yung basis natin 'no, table from ano, NCP. Um, but in reality, okay, kasi sabi natin yung K na yon, as per the derivation ng, Euler 'no, critical buckling stress, depende yan kung ano yung type of support mo, which is related sa stiffness ng support mo, okay. So yung actual value kasi ng K would dictate or would, depends on the actual ano, rotational strength nung mga connections mo, okay. And sa mga problem na iso-solve natin, you would try to use kung ano ba talaga yung actual, rotational strength nung mga support natin. Kasi magkakaroon tayo ng ano, defined section ng column 'no, defined section ng mga beams, okay. Sige. So, therefore kung naka-defined yung mga dimensions nung ano natin, mga beams and columns natin 'no, yung mga shape, kung wide flange man 'yan, ano yung mga actual shape na ginamit, malalaman mo kung ano yung stiffness 'no, yung K based dun sa mga area or mga dimensions nung supporting elements, okey. So ngayon i-discuss kung paano siya ano 'no, kina-calculate yung stiffness na yun, okey. But to give you an idea, kapagka hinge support ka 'no, kapag hinge support ka, 'di ba, yung, restraint mo is 0, okey? Restraint mo is 0. Kapag naman fixed support ka, usually yung restraint mo, no, is equivalent to infinity or kumbaga meron. Okay? What do you mean by that? Kapag ka kasi support ka, pwede kang mag-rotate, 'di ba? Sa mga trust system, 'di ba? Pag or kaya pag pin support, pwede kang mag-rotate. So, wala kang restraint, kaya zero. Kapag fixed support ka naman, um, usually, no? Um, pwede kang mag-rotate actually, no? Pero meron kang kumbaga may moment ka, no? May magre-resist dun sa fixed support eh. Okay? So, infinite yung ano mo, stiffness mo, okay? Now, in terms of calculations ng fixity constant K, magkaiba yung calculations depending on the type of frames na meron ka. Okay? So, meron tayong separate discussion dito, but to give you an idea, it's either brace or unbraced frame. Okay? Kung ano yung pinagkaiba niyan, okay? Usually kapag ka brace frame ka, no? Kapag brace frame ka like so, itong may mga braces, you don't allow wala kang side sway na tinatawag. Okay? Wala kang side sway na tinatawag. Kapag ka unbraced frame ka like so, ito yung tinatawag din nating moment frame. Usually meron kang tinatawag na side sway, no, or yung lateral displacement. No, kasi 'di ba, if we would go back dito, 'di ba? So we could see na may mga case dito na ito eh. No, yung support mo is meron kang translation. Kaya ayan nga translation free. So ibig sabihin meron kang translation. Parang sinabing sugar free, no, yung ano mo, yung drinks mo. So ibig sabihin meron, no? Tama ba? Anyways, so meron ka mga size way dito, okay? Sa mga scenario na to. Okay? So iba yung how to calculate depende kung brace frame ka or unbrace frame ka. Okay? Now to give you an idea, kapag yung column mo is without side sway, no? Without side sway or brace column ka nga as I've mentioned, usually magpo-fall lang dito sa mga ano na to, sa mga values na to, yung ratio or yung range ng K mo. So ito lang, itong mga to. Okay? Ito yung mga case na kung saan translation is fixed. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun, without side sway, no? Which is ito. Okay? So ibig sabihin, you're a base frame. Expected mo yung constant K mo or the fixity constant would be between 0.5 and 1 as depicted dito sa table na to. Okay? So how about if yung system mo is with sidesway? Kapag sinabing with sidesway, again, inuulit-ulit ko that we're pertaining to unbraced columns or unbraced frame. Okay? You could see here na kapag translation pre ka, you have a sides no, with sidesway yung system mo. And itong mga to, yung mga basis ng ano natin, ng K natin. And yung pinakamababa dito is is 1, then 2, no? But actually yung value ng K mo daw is would range from 1 to infinity as per references. Okay? Sige, to give you more information, okay, on how to use nomograph. Okay, so mag-example tayo. Okay? By the way, yung nomograph, okay, ito yung ginagamit nating tools to define yung fixity constant K. Okay? Sa ibang books natawag din siyang alignment chart. Okay, alignment chart. Okay? This would dictate kung ano yung actual fixity constant depende dun sa mga values ng relative stiffness mo. Okay? Relative stiffness nung columns mo. O sige, so unahin muna natin yung relative stiffness or yung stiffness. Paano ba siya kina-calculate? Okay? So yung stiffness nung bawat support mo or joints mo, which is designated here as G, no? Yung stiffness is simply the ratio of your total column stiffness depende kung ano yung joint na kino-consider mo at a particular joint over yung total girder or beams stiffness at that particular joint. Okay? And yung stiffness kasi na yan, it could be defined as I over L or the moment of inertia of that given section divided by yung length ng member na yon. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag nating relative stiffness. So kunin mo lang daw yung ratio na to, So itong equation na to, it could be rewrite based on this formula, Yung G is equal to summation of relative stiffness of columns at that particular joint and over the summation of relative stiffness of beams or horizontal members at that particular joint. Okay? So ito yung tinatawag nating G, or the stiffness. Now, ibig sabihin pala, for a given column, mag-example tayo. So illustrate natin kung paano kinakalculate yung mga G, no? So halimbawa, for column number 1 muna tayo, okay? Ito yung column number 1 natin. Okay, itong column na to. So yung column kasi natin, meron tayong dalawang joints, no? Yung top joint as A, yung bottom joint as B. Okay? So yun na lang label natin. Okay? So for example, itong column number 1, pinapahanap yung mga values ng G natin or the relative stiffness. Paano ba natin siya ma-define or paano ba gagawin? Okay? So again, no, the formula for G is stiffness nung column mo over stiffness nung beam mo. Okay? So kung magfo-focus tayo at joint A, no, for column 1, ito 'yon. Ito yung joint A natin, which is the top joint. Okay? Yung formula natin, kung mag-start tayo kay column, okay? I-itemize lang natin ano ba yung mga connected na column diyan. Okay? So you could see for joint A, dalawa yung connected na columns. Okay? Una yung column B, okay? And pangalawa yung column F, okay? At joint A. So you could see here, no? Ayan, yung relative stiffness ng column B and plus the relative stiffness of column F. Okay? Punta tayo sa denominator which is for beam. Okay, relative stiffness of beam. Okay? Sa joint A, ang connected na mga beams mo is number 1, yung beam 4 and yung beam 5. Okay? So you could see here na summation lang siya ng relative stiffness ng beam 4 and beam 5. Okay? So as simple as that. Okay? As simple as that. Sige, tuloy pa natin yung for column 1. Okay? How about if we want to define yung G ng joint B for column 1? Ano yung mga equation natin, no? So yung general equation natin, again, column yung numerator. So meaning yung connected na column dyan is ito, si column F and si column J. So as presented here. Okay? Now yung denominator natin, yung for beam naman, no, ang connected sa joint B is yung beam 7 and beam 8. Okay? As presented here on this equation. Okay? So as simple as that, no? Kapag na-define mo na yung G ng top joint and bottom joint, you could now define yung value ng K mo, which is papakita ko sa inyo mamaya, okay? But for now, let's try to define yung other columns. Halimbawa, yung column number 2. Okay? So for column number 2, ito 'yon. Okay? Obviously, yung value ng G mo at top joint would be yung column muna. Okay? Yung column na connected mo sa joint A is isa lang, yung A. So ito 'yon. Okay? Yung beam na connected sa top joint is isa lang din, yung number 1. So ito 'yon. Okay? For the denominator. For bottom joint naman, which is B, no? G sub B, for the column, no, connected, that is A and column E. Okay? So ito yun. Okay? Similarly, for the denominator, which is beam na connected at joint B, that is beam number 4. Okay? So ito naman yun. Okay? So as simple as that. Makakalculate mo na yung mga values ng G mo for column 2. And lastly, yung for column 3. No? So for column 3, which is sa support, ito na yung medyo tricky. Ito na yung medyo tricky. And meron tayong rule na gamitin dito. Kasi one of the support is supported by nasa ground level na to. No? So paano ba gamitin, ano ba gagawin dito? Okay? Sige, i-calculate muna natin yung G sub A, okay, for column number 3. So ganun pa din, same equation, ano ba yung connected na columns kay joint A, that is H and L, no, as presented dun sa figure. So ito na 'yon. Okay? And ano ba yung connected na beam? Okay? From joint A, ito lang naman, isa lang naman, no, yung beam number 9. Okay? And similarly, no, kapag pupunta naman tayo kay joint B, no? Joint B, which is ito na yung tricky, no? Ito na yung tricky. So we would calculate yung G sub B, no, for column 3. For column connected, okay? For column connected, yung column na connected at joint B is simply column L. So ito na 'yon. Okay? Column L. Now, yung beam connected sa column B naman is depende kung ano, obviously wala, no? Wala kasi nga support na 'to, okay? Pero malalaman mo 'yan, no? Depende kung ano yung type of support. Gano'n na lang yung gagamitin natin, no? In terms of the relative stiffness nung for the beam. Depende kung ano yung type of support. Well, sabi natin, meron tayong either simple support, okay? Or hinge support. Yung other option, no, is peak support. Okay? So kapag simple support ka, nabanggit na natin to kanina, yung restrain mo is 0. Okay? Restrain mo is 0. Kapag peak support ka naman, yung restrain mo is infinite or kumbaga, meron kang restraint, no, doon sa support mo. So yun na lang, no, as a simplification. yun na yung substitute natin dun sa value sa denominator, yung for relative stiffness of the beam. Okay? So in this case, it's a peak support. So meaning yung strain natin or yung denominator natin is infinity, no? Infinity. Okay? And then any value, no? Any value divided by infinity, okay? Is actually equal to 0. Okay? Actually equal to 0. You could try, no? Halimbawa, 1 divided by kapag sinabi ng infinity, masyadong malaki na to, no? So you could type siguro 99 sa calculator nyo, 9999 hanggang maubos yung space ng calculator nyo, no? 9999 then ang lalabas na value is 0. Okay? Anyways, no? Yun yung gagawin natin for bottom level columns. Okay? Sige. Siguro mas maganda, no? By the way, no? So since na-calculate na natin, no, na-define na natin yung mga values ng G, pwede naman tayong gumamit ng tinatawag nating nomographs, no? Ito yung nomographs or alignment chart na tinatawag. Okay? So kung paano siya ginagamit, ganito lang, no? Una, i-define mo yung value ng G at top joint ng column mo. So halimbawa, sabihin nating 1 'yon. Okay? So i-mark mo 'yan. Tapos i-define mo din yung value ng G sub B. Okay? Which is for the bottom joint mo ng column. So halimbawa, naging 0 'yon. Okay? Ang gagawin mo lang, mag-draw ka lang ng straight line from G sub A to G sub B. Mag-draw ka ng straight line. So assuming na straight line 'yan, okay? Yung point na kung saan tatamaan niya dito sa column na to, which is for, as you could see, no, yung tinatawag nating fixity constant na yan, K, or the effective length factor, yung tatamaan niya, that would dictate or would give you the value of the actual effective length factor. Base yan dun sa actual relative stiffness ng mga members na connected sa sa column mo. Okay? So ganoon lang siya ginagamit, no? Ganoon siya ginagamit. So kunin mo lang, no, yung value on this column. Okay? Now, you could see pala on this slide na meron tayong dalawang nomograph, no? Yung isa is for alignment chart for brace frame. No? Gusto ko lang linawin. Yung left figure is for brace frame. Kapag sinabi nating brace frame, side sway is prevented or without side sway. Okay? Without side sway. Okay? Malinaw naman to kasi mapapansin mo dito, no, yung joint, yung top joint mo and bottom joint mo, wala kang side sway, no? Wala kang side sway sa figure na to. Ito yung mga connected na columns and beams, okay? Yung nasa right hand figure naman, okay? This is the alignment chart. Kapag sinabi sa problem, you have an unbraced or moment frame. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating unbraced or moment frame, allowed, no? Allowed ang side sway diyan. So ibig sabihin, side sway is not prevented. Okay? Side sway is not prevented. And ito yung appropriate na nomograph na dapat mong gamitin. Magkaiba yan, guys, no? Magkaiba yung values niyan. Okay? So you need to check first ano ba yung system mo. Okay? Ano ba yung system mo? To summarize again, kapag sinabi sa problem, without side sway, columns without side sway, yun yung brace frame. Ito yung gagamitin mo. Kapag sinabing columns with side sway, no, unbraced frame yun. Ito yung gagamitin mo. Okay? You could see pala no, on the figure dito, no, yung mga joints mo, merong nagano ka na, no, meron kang lateral displacement. Okay? So kaya nga this one is for with side sway. Okay? Ito yung appropriate alignment chart. Okay? Okay? So i-add ko na lang din pala, no? For brace frame, usually it is not designed, no, to resist lateral loads. Okay? And kapag unbraced frame ka, usually design ka to resist lateral loads. Okay? Usually yun yung clue natin, okay? So, example problems tayo, no? Pero dito, siguro on example problem number 1, let's start, no, to define paano ba accurately dinidefine si fixity constant, no, for a given column. No? Doon muna tayo, no? And let's try to investigate a different scenario, okay? So dito, we would use yung example natin kanina, okay?